Hello, everyone. This is Lenard de Guzman with Emily Robinson here on the Life After D podcast. We're here, first podcast with like the 46th president, Joe Biden. So we're here, it's November 9th, 2020. Lots of optimism, I think, and so we're in a good mood. It's Monday morning. How's it over there, Emily?
It's good. I'm just happy I don't have to watch any more like election commercials. So tired of those. And read
So
more election stuff on Facebook.
now we have to worry about like the next, I think, November, December, and then January, because still Trump's still president. See what
And
happens.
we have to see in January, does like everything just change? It'll be weird.
Yeah, and so what's kind of going off of that tangent, Trump, if you Google divorce, Melania comes up. Okay, so on this part of the show too, we go over the news of Google, see what's going on, what's trending, and so okay, let's get into it. So Yahoo Finance headline is Melania Trump counting the minutes until divorce, former aides claim. Gosh, I mean, kick a guy when he's down already. Okay,
Right?
so let's get on this. Former White House aides have made the shocking claims that Donald Trump has lost the 2020 presidential election. Wife Melania is counting the minutes until divorce. Omarosa Newman, who first met Trump when she appeared on The Apprentice in 2007, went on to become assistant to the president and director of communications for the Office of Public Liaison, and has written a book called Unhinged. Now Omarosa has claimed the couple's 15-year marriage is over. According to the Mail on Sunday, Melania is counting every minute until she's out of office, and she can divorce. If Melania were to try to pull the ultimate humiliation and leave while he's in office, he would find a way to punish her. So what we observed in the last 17 years would make your head spin. Sometimes they like each other, but other times she's repulsed by him. So if we go down here, okay, so back in 2016, there were reports Melania burst into tears when Trump was first voted into the Oval Office, with one friend saying at the time she never expected him to win. She also didn't move into the White House for 5 months because Barron Trump needed to finish school. However, former aide Stephanie Wolkoff has claimed Melania was actually negotiating a post-nuptial agreement to give Barron an equal share of the Trump fortune. Stephanie also called the relationship a transactional marriage going on so far to allege they had separate bedrooms in the White House. So this is complicated. So
It is
unpack this for
complicated.
us.
Well, Trump's had two other wives, or three. I think it's two. So it's kind of tough to be Melania, because if they really are going to get a divorce, he's already paying out alimony to those wives, I'm sure, or paid them a hefty portion. And so you're kind of coming third, and while he's got a lot of money, they have to account for the fact of what he's paying the other people. That would go into the equation. So you don't really want to be third in line to receive alimony, because it will make your alimony a lot less. Although she would also get child support. So, but I mean, who knows if it's true or not? I guess we'll wait and see. I remember with, Bill Clinton, there were all those rumors, was Hillary going to divorce him and all of that, and that never happened. So we kind of just have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, I would assume she would wait until after he leaves the White House so that they don't have scandals about that. Plus, Trump's got lawyers at his fingertips, so you don't want to be crossing him in that way.
So like you could renegotiate, I mean, anything, right? So post-nuptial, so it said, I think at the end of that article, she was like renegotiating it, right? So they had like a specific agreement, and then now that he was like, oh, that's pre-president, and then now she's like, oh, okay, maybe things will change. So I doubt that she would negotiate the numbers down, like whatever that number was. Does that play into it? Like, how does things like that work?
Well, so they may have had a prenup or a prior post-marital agreement, and yeah, it's a contract, so it's always subject to renegotiation. But what that contract does is it says the terms of your divorce, you know, in case that happens. So like, let's say their divorce would be done under New York law because that's where they're living at the time, because I assume he'll move back to Trump Towers. So if their divorce is going to be done under New York law, instead of following New York law, the courts would have to follow whatever they put in their contract. But that contract is renegotiable. So who knows? I mean, she could say, I want you to give me X money more if we divorce, or I'm not going to waive my claim to this. I mean, who knows? Like, who knows what's in there? Those things aren't public record or filed with the court. So we wouldn't see it unless they went through some kind of divorce dispute and it was put in the public record at that time.
Yeah, okay. So this case is to be continued. We'll probably have to cover this later on when things finalize. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, so let's get to the next article. Kelly Clarkson is now countersuing her father-in-law in legal battle amid divorce. Kelly Clarkson countersues her father-in-law in legal battle amid divorce from Brandon Blackstock. This is according to Yahoo. Kelly is being sued by her estranged husband, Brandon's father, Narvel, and his management company, Starstruck Management Group. It's not a surprise that the person who sings "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger" won't back down for a fight. Kelly Clarkson is countersuing her estranged husband. Her estranged husband, Brandon Blackstone's father, Narvel Blackstock, and his management group, Starstruck Management Group. The company alleges that Kelly owes them $1.4 million in unpaid commission, but she denies these reports. People reports that in a labor petition filed on October 20th, Kelly wrote that Starstruck Management Group violated the California Labor Code for procuring, offering, promising, or attempting to procure employment or engagements for her without first obtaining a talent agency license. So she says any and all agreements, including their reported verbal contract in which she agreed to pay them 15% commission on her gross earnings, be declared void and unenforceable. And then Variety also reported it was the first to break this news of the initial suit on September 29th, reporting that she owes them millions in her work on the Kelly Clarkson show and The Voice this year. They're also claiming that she'll owe at least $5.4 million by the end of 2020. So does this have anything to do with the divorce or because they're divorcing?
Well, it could. I mean, you know, these kind of things, like if they weren't divorcing, maybe, you know, these things wouldn't come up because they're all family and, you know, you're never going to go there. It could also be that a lot of times things don't go the way you want in the divorce, or you're ordered to pay too much or not enough to the other person. And so you try to find other ways to get out of it, like by suing the parents or other family members, trying to recover funds that way. So I do see that frequently, parents getting involved because it's a relationship where the parents are somehow intertwined in the finances, either through business or owning real estate together or something. But the parents aren't part of the divorce, so you can't sue them in the divorce. So if you need to recover something from them, you're going to have to do it through civil court. It's unpleasant. It really is. You're suing your kids' grandparents, but sometimes that's the only recourse you have.
Yeah, it's for millions. It's not just for thousands. So
No, they don't live in our world.
yeah, I think 15% was like 5 million. So that's a house or two
Not a,
or
it's not a world I understand.
okay, they're printing their money. Okay. Let's go to the next article. Let's see. Okay, Selling Sunset. That's just another, like these people are, it's reality TV, but is it really reality for the rest of the people? Okay, so Crucial Styles, so saddened over news of Dancing with the Stars partner's divorce. Man, this is, so it's like reality show on top of reality show. Like Dancing with the Stars has been on for like probably 2 decades. Okay, so the drama has seemingly left the dance floor following news of Dancing with the Stars veteran Gleb Savchenko divorced from his wife of 14 years. Savchenko, who is partners with Selling Sunset star Rochelle Spouse, announced his divorce from ex Elena Samodinova on social media. It is with a heavy heart that I tell you, my wife and I are parting ways after 14 years of marriage. So there's a post from Instagram. See, while Savchenko remained optimistic on his Instagram caption, referring to the co-parenting and being the best parents for their daughters. Social media posts seem to tell a different story. On November 6th, around the same time, shared a cryptic meme. I don't hate you. I'm just disappointed you turn into everything you said you'd never be. See, hours later, in a story published by People, Samodinova revealed to the publication she endured 14 years of marriage and multiple affairs. Saddened about the news of Gleb and Elena's split. It is this is Styles wrote. I guess that they're partners on Dancing with the Stars. It is unfortunate that this caused rumors to swirl about my personal life, having gone through public split myself. I would not wish this on anyone. As you imagine, the countless hours of training and dance rehearsals has created a strong, supportive friendship, but nothing more. I wish nothing but the best for both Gleb and Elena during the unfortunate time. So, yeah, it's speculation.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard. Anytime your divorce is public, you're gonna have a hard time. There's gonna be lots of rumors and lots of speculation and people thinking you're with this person or that person. And these celebrities are just normal people too, and having to read rumors about yourself and that your spouse is with someone else, or especially when you're with someone that's around other celebrities all the time and beautiful women or men all the time, it's tough. So, I think a lot of these things are speculation that never come to pass, but it doesn't make it easier. They still have the same emotions that we have.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the posts online. In this part of the show of the Life After the podcast, we're gonna go over things people post, things about life after divorce, life during the divorce process, like posts about like mental health, because divorce can be, very difficult on an individual. So let's get into it. The first post is about, mental health. A little light. My therapist told me that the neurons or messages that send happiness and sadness throughout your body flow down the same path. When you're sad, so sad that you never knew you could be that sad, well, that's like flexing your muscles, and that path it travels on grows in capacity. The good news, the light at the end of the tunnel, is that your capacity for sadness grows, so does your capacity for happiness. I'm fairly certain that there's a scientific rationale for this. I never fact checked her because even if it's true, it makes me feel good knowing, thinking about it. So yeah, that's
I mean,
poetic.
there's a biology to sadness and happiness, and there's so much research done about your neurotransmitters, and there's different kinds of like emotional reactions. Like you may be just prone toward depression for no reason, but there's also situational depression where you just get depressed because you're in an impossible situation or chronic pain or something that causes the neurotransmitters to change because of the experience that you're going through. Our physical health is very connected to our psyche. So you go through something traumatic emotionally, it's probably going to affect you psychologically and physically. And obviously there's medication for this, but it's also important to have therapy to help figure out those deep issues and resolve them long term. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a biologist, but I know that your neurotransmitters can change depending on what you're going through.
Okay, the next post is the life after divorce one. Sadness crept in. This is from male 41. I've been divorced for 8 months now. I do pretty well most of the time. I drop my boys off about noon. Today at their mom's. I've been so that I guess it's typical that it's a weekend kind of arrangement. I've been crying for over an hour and super down. I don't know where this is coming from, and it's horrible. I'm lonely, I'm scared, I'm overwhelmed. I know this will pass. I teach 5th grade, and the kids will be a good distraction tomorrow. I'm terrified of dating, but meeting a woman would be nice. I'm just rambling, but it helps. It is kind of like a dark forest, and I'm trying to get my bearings and find a way out. I can do this. I will do this for my boys and for myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to have that kind of positive attitude that, you will do this because, you have no other option. You've got to find a way to pick yourself up and make it through, and especially for your kids. And I think having that can-do attitude is really, really important. And again, there's lots of resources out there that can help you, of course, if you can't get that motivation on your own. But I do think it has to start inside, and you have to know that you can do it. And you have to lift yourself up and then find whatever support and resources you need to keep going.
Okay, the next one, this is kind of creepy. As far as like technology, it helps us, and then on the other end, it can be creepy. So this one's about what do I do if I think, I guess he, referring to like maybe an ex-husband, bugged my phone. Let's see, my ex-husband has a history of looking through my email accounts and text messages. He has had unsupervised access to my phone while we were separating. He said something last week that makes me strongly believe he's monitoring my communications, despite that I've changed all my passwords. I tried looking for secret programs on my phone and didn't find anything, but I'm certainly no expert. Is there a person you can hire who can evaluate if anything is in there that shouldn't be? I'm getting a new phone Friday for sure. I feel sick and lost. Thank you for your advice in advance.
Wow, that's scary. So I have had these situations before, and I tell people go to your, carrier like AT&T or whoever, and have them search your phone, have them look at your phone and tell you if they think there's any bugs on it. You can hire private investigators for this. That is an option. I have seen people do that, and they can work with IT people that can find that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think you can definitely do that. And then if you find out that it was the case, then you can get a restraining order. against your ex for spying on you.
Yeah, that'd be kind of, that's the thing, like text messages, like I guess no one calls, like I mean, your communication's all like out there, like on the thread of the text.
Yeah,
It's kind of creepy. So,
nothing's private
um,
anymore.
yeah. Well, this next post is like, it reminds me, like, I saw this thing on Netflix. It's about like, it says here, well, this is a life after divorce, starter wife realities. Because on Netflix, there's a show about it now. Okay. So this one, oh yeah, this is our last post of the day too, so special one. It's painful to know I was a starter wife. I left him because it was so emotionally draining. Constant mental put downs, which led to physical put downs. It was the mental abuse that really broke my self-esteem, and I'm only getting to that happy place after 2 years. He recently bragged that he's nearly done studying for his degree. He will be making so much money. He claims that he will not want his future woman to ever work. I will spoil her rotten. I will cook for her. I will take her whatever she wants to go, wherever she wants to go. Why? I was just a work meal for him and his family. I admit I didn't know much about myself or dating when I became pregnant. I had low self-esteem and not a good example of a good married couple. I didn't have the knowledge that so many young women are seeing today, such as the level up videos of women vetting men to be good providers and protectors for them and their future children. I would be happy that I left with my sanity intact, and I am still about to take care of myself, my children. But eventually, I will see the pictures. I will see the new woman. I will hear about all the amazing things that they'll do while I'm living off one salary and doing everything I can for our children, and he does a bare minimum. Yeah, so I think this is something that women share all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she said she was the starter wife. I mean, I I don't think you can think of it that way. Like, you know, it doesn't being the first wife doesn't mean you're the starter wife. You're just as important as any future wife. It doesn't mean it was destined not to last. It just sometimes doesn't work because people grow and change. But I think, you have to just keep, put your best foot forward, keep doing what you feel you need to do for you and your kids. Many people feel the other side is not reciprocating enough, and many people feel bitter about the reasons why the marriage ended, but that doesn't change the reality that you have to live your life and have the kids to take care of. So you have to try to find a way to find happiness within yourself that does not depend on that person. And feeling like a starter wife, for example, is probably really bad for self-confidence. So that indicates that you need to just find a way to make peace with the failed relationship and move forward, find happiness elsewhere.
Yeah. So that's all the time we have for today. I don't know. Like this is like a new beginning now. It's like there's new Congress. Well, same Congress people, some same senators, maybe different ones. I don't know. I'm into the background. I don't know. So Emily, as far as like courts, I know it's like Thanksgiving's coming up. Do you have any advice you want to give people?
Well, I've gotten lots of people contacting me about, I don't want my ex to travel during COVID with the kids for holidays, or I want to go somewhere and my ex won't let me. Try to work it out, guys. Like, the court doesn't want to get involved in these decisions. They will if they have to, but they don't want to. And you're going to have to wait a really long time for your court date. And the decision might not be what you like, or the court might just say, well, I'm going to let mom decide or dad decide, because the court doesn't like to decide for you. So do your best to co-parent and figure out a solution together. And I anticipate, with the administration change, we might be having a lot of changes in the law in January, so that affect divorces. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so tune in for that. Maybe we'll get word next week, and we'll go from there. So thanks so much for joining us on the Life After D podcast.
Bye.
Bye-bye.